Yo, what's happening, everyone? Today I'm here with Nick, who I've been working pretty closely with for the last 7 to 8 months. So, Nick, introduce yourself, bro.
Yo, what's going on? To everyone who doesn't know me, my name is Nick, and I've been in the online world for about 9 months now. Did come from a construction background, and yeah, my whole life's done a whole 360. I mean, I'm now doing anywhere from ten to $15,000 a month. That's sort of the foundation at the moment. I mean, last month coming off my biggest month, but yeah, I'm sure we can dive deeper into that a little bit after. But yeah, I mean, I've been in the space for a bit and been working with Darcy for around 7 months now, so. Yeah, man.
Cool, man. Yeah, sick, bro. It's pretty crazy, your journey, actually. So, we'll dive deeper into that later on. But first of all, I wanted to go back to, let's go back in time to the beginning of your journey, bro. So, what was initially going through your head when you first made that switch to seek for a change?
Yeah, man. Well, it was genuinely just coming to the realization, with me working in construction, it's like I
Mm,
didn't see myself doing it for the next 45 years of my life. And I didn't enjoy it. I quit my apprenticeship with 9 months to go, to get my qualification because to me, leaving myself with that backup option of, oh, you can just fall back on your qualification. Like I'm
mm,
giving myself the option to fail and quit. So I didn't give myself that option to fail. I quit the apprenticeship because I knew, yeah, it wasn't something for me, but don't get me wrong, it wasn't just quit the apprenticeship straight away. It took hard hours and dedication, motivation, and straight consistency. I mean, it was
mm,
5 months of me starting my online journey before I actually was able to quit my construction job. And I'd say that first 5 months was probably the hardest 5 months of, my entire online journey so far. But yeah, I just
mm,
came to the realization that me working in the trade wasn't going to allow me to live the life that I genuinely want to live. I didn't
mm,
see myself swinging a hammer at 65 years old, and I want to I want to live a luxurious life, genuinely. I've always been
mm,
like that. I've always had expensive taste. And I just knew me working in construction, I'd just be a pretender, and I actually wanted to do
mm,
something where I could achieve my dreams the way that I want to achieve them, being self-made as well. So yeah, it's just, yeah, I just wanted to start something where I could build my future and not someone else's.
mm. Yeah, awesome, bro. I mean, you said that you don't want to be swinging a hammer for the rest of your life. So, what's the last, say, 7 to 8 months actually looked like for you? Tell us a bit of a brief summary about your journey so far.
Yeah, well, yeah, like I said, the first 5 months of my journey was probably the hardest. I mean, it consists of me waking up at 5 a.m., going to work, doing my 10 to 12 hours a day, coming home and
Mm,
sitting right back here at this desk for another 4 to 5 hours.
mhm,
And that was hard. That was really hard, but I knew I was doing it for a reason. Um, and it was to live the life that I wanted to live. And I mean, yeah, like I said, it took me 5 months to actually drop the tools, replace my income.
mhm,
So I was making around 4K a month online, which was more than what I was making in construction. And I just came to the realization where I'm like, okay, why am I still working? Why am I still doing 10 hours a day?
mm,
When I can literally make my weekly wage in a day from, my phone, my laptop.
mm,
So I mean, as soon as I dropped the tools, it was just all go from there. When you replace the work hours into this, it's like instead of you doing 4 hours a night, you're doing
mhm,
40 hours a week and putting that into this. So much happened from, the point where I had the time to actually put it into this, feeling 100% and not being drained from work. Um, and to obviously fast forward to today, obviously, like I said, doing 5 figures a month, literally just come off my biggest month last month, which was at about $16,500, which is crazy, genuinely crazy to me. Like, I don't know how long it would take me to make that in construction, almost 3, 4 months to make that.
yeah,
And the fact that I've done even longer, even like the fact that I was able to do that in a month, it's like, damn, and it's sort of just, it's only up from here because once you achieve that, like you don't want to stop at that. You just want to keep going.
mm,
And what it consists of is just finding ways to, 2x that and obviously increase your revenue and find ways to scale. And I mean, that's the sort of position that I'm in now is just scaling and making my business
mm,
better and running systems better and just, yeah, leveraging AI, especially because, yeah, AI is just insane at the moment, and it's making a lot of people a lot of money.
Mm.
And I just use it as leverage now. So it's for me, it's just about scaling at the moment.
Right, it's crazy that you say that because the fact that you're working in construction, but union specifically, which is nowadays considered decent money, and that's like
Yeah.
the best option considered to be in the construction industry, right? So it's pretty crazy that now stepping into this space and being absolutely thriving in high ticket sales, it's like you had that, some sort of untapped potential that maybe you wouldn't have even known about if you didn't step into this space. So let's dive a little bit deeper into some of those wins that you've had recently, bro. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, 100%. Well, I mean, yeah, you can say it like that. I mean, no one knows their true potential until they start,
Mm-hmm.
realistically. And yeah, like you mentioned, high ticket sales is sort of like sales essentially, is like the
Mm-hmm.
talent that, I never would have knew I had, unless I started. I mean, my
Yeah.
whole family comes from sales, car sales especially. So it's like I've had it in my genes, but I was the odd one out that went into construction and never
Yeah.
actually pursued with sales, obviously
Yeah.
until now. And now just through sales, I'm doing a lot of money through sales, like a lot,
Mm-hmm.
five figures through sales. I mean, every single little bit of my money comes from a sale. So it's like learning that it's changed my life. It's improved my communication skills. My foundation to talk to people. I can talk to
Mm-hmm.
a random stranger like they're my best friend. And that all
Yeah.
comes down to communication skills and learning the arts of sales, the psychology around sales as well.
Mm-hmm.
But a couple wins from me. Recently, obviously last month, just coming off my biggest month at 16,500. Before that, I was doing anywhere from, 8 to 15, really ranged. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Depending on the months. Like this game isn't just all skyrockets. Like you're gonna have bad months, you're gonna have good months. And it just comes with, taking out it's about taking away what came from the good month and bring it into the next month and
Mm-hmm.
eliminating, what didn't work from those previous bad months. But I mean, come across Easter Sunday, Easter weekend, I should say, ended up doing 2K that weekend, which is what I would have made in 2 weeks working in my construction
Yeah.
job. And then, oh, yeah, like I said, in the month of March, ended up doing 16,500. And then, yeah, there was a time where I ended up making like $2,000 in 2 hours. I've closed $6,000 deals. Like, yeah, man, there's a lot that I've achieved and obviously learned from as well. I use them all as learning curves. What can I do better? What can I, it's all it is. It's all trial and error at the end of the day. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
what can you learn from this? And
Mm-hmm.
that's what I see everything as. I see everything in life a lesson. And I learned something from it. So yeah, I mean, my wins are talkable, but for me at the moment, it's not so much about the money. Yes, obviously the money is good, but genuinely for me, the money is just what keeps me living, essentially. The thing that actually keeps me going is seeing people that actually start that doubted themselves, and then coming back to me in 6 months' time saying, Nick, bro, look at where I am, look at what I've done.
Mm-hmm.
And then that feeling, that's what really pushes me and thrives me. It's like I made that happen for you, That's the type of
Mm-hmm.
stuff that genuinely keeps me going. That's the fuel. Knowing that I can actually help someone achieve big things.
It's very powerful, bro, being changing the direction of someone's lives, man. It's very fulfilling and it's very powerful, dude. So 100%, man, you've had a crazy journey so far. Obviously, there's ups and downs, but overall, it's been pretty insane progress so far. So everyone wants to know, bro, what has been let's talk about the time frames. Let's be specific on how long it took you to go from nothing to start pulling in the big results and, you know, let's dive a little deeper into that.
Yeah, of course, bro. So, yeah, like I said, my first 5 months was the hardest months, ever,
Mm,
especially with, obviously my online journey. Um, it was coming home every night and planting my ass here for hours and hours, and then waking up at
yeah,
5 a.m. and going to work and doing the same thing for 5 months straight. That was hard.
yeah,
And that's a time where people, feel like quitting. Like I went through periods where I didn't get paid, within the first 5 months. It was like a month where I didn't get paid, and I'm like, what am I doing? I kept
mm,
consistent, but nothing was coming through. I wasn't reaping the rewards that I thought I deserved.
mm,
And genuinely, me looking back at that now, it's like I didn't deserve those rewards, genuinely, because there's so much I could have done better.
mm,
But Yeah, if I was to put time frames on things, like it took me 5 months to leave my job, and that was with putting in hours every single day, for
Mm,
5 months straight. And then in my 6 month, I ended up having my first 10K month, which was obviously when I replaced my work hours with work hours, obviously in the online, just in the online space. So when I realized the amount of work that I could put in, within that first month of me leaving my job, that was where scale came into play, and ended up doing my first 10K month, within my 6 month of starting. So it's within half a year, I'm doing over 5 figures, which is crazy to think, man, of
mm,
where I'm coming from as well. Just a normal average guy, dropped out of school in year 10, and 6 months
yeah.
into obviously building my own future, I'm doing 5 figures a month, which is something that I never would have seen myself doing. If I had told
Mm,
myself if I had gone back in time and told myself this is where you're going to be in the next year, I would have laughed at myself, man, and told myself to, shut up and walk away. But I mean, that's how quick things can change. And then obviously
mm,
to fast forward you to now, the foundation's been set. It's like if I'm making anything less than, 8, 9K a month, I'm sick to my stomach and I can't sleep at night. So yeah, man, I mean, that's where we're at the moment.
fuck yeah, bro. No, it's been a crazy journey, man. Like you said. So obviously going from working those 40-hour weeks, bro, those tough weeks, living paycheck to paycheck, you've said previously, to now pulling in upwards of 15K a month at 19 years old. It's a pretty crazy achievement, bro. But, how did it feel exactly on that day, that one day that you were finally able to resign and drop the tool bag for good to pursue this full time?
It was insane. It was a massive sign of relief, you could say. Um, it was the best feeling in the world. Like the best feeling in the world, knowing that I don't ever have to step foot onto a job site again.
Yeah,
It's like all those times where I doubted myself. It's like I thanked myself for actually sticking to it and sticking to the plan. It was the best feeling in the world, saying goodbye to the boys for the last time, on
yeah.
site, packing up the tools. It was like everything that I'd done and everything that I've been doing has finally paid off. And it was obviously the biggest and first goal for me was to leave my job. And the fact that that happened within 5 months is just
Mm,
ridiculous. It really is. It's ridiculous how quick things can happen when you actually lock in. It sounds corny, but when you actually lock
mm.
in, so much can come from it, genuinely. Yeah, it was the best feeling in the world, and it was just, yeah, it's like everything that I was doing paid off. And if I could go back in time, there's so much I would have done differently, realistically. But I'm thankful for where I'm at now. And I mean, that was the first goal. As soon as that got hit, I wrote down more goals, and yeah, I mean, I'm pushing that. Then the next goal after that was to hit my first 10K month, and that was literally within the month that I left my job. And then from that point
Mm.
on, it's just figuring out how to scale. And yeah, I guess that's where I'm at now, just figuring out how to scale, man. But yeah, leaving my job, man, that was the best feeling in the world. Like, yeah, genuinely.
100%, bro. I mean, I can resonate with that completely as well because recently I just left my job as well. Going from working three jobs to now transitioning to full time online. It's a pretty good feeling. But how did it feel after those, specifically those 5 months of just grinding, that grind period, to then finally reaping the rewards? Would you say that was better than leaving the job, or which was more important to you at the time?
Definitely leaving the job. That
Mm,
was a massive thing because leaving the job allowed me to pursue with the life that I wanted to live.
mm,
So that's sort of the beginning of the story. You know what I mean? And it's what it is. You come from a construction background and you essentially turn into a success story. So yeah, the most important thing for me was leaving my job. So I was able to pursue with the life that I actually wanted to live and do the things that I
mm,
wanted to do in life. But then obviously doing big numbers is what everyone wants to do. And
mm,
that's obviously the goal that, like I said, it was the goal that was following up with leaving my job. It's like, okay, I've left my job. Now how can I 2x, 3x my, revenue? And it's exactly what I did. I just doubled down on the work, and within my first month of leaving my job, ended up doing 5 figures. And I'd say, once that first 5 figure month hit, it's like, yeah, you've achieved it, but there's not really much of a feeling that you get from achieving it. You see
mm,
the 10K coming in that month, and it's like, holy shit, I've just done what everyone says. Like 10K a month is what everyone wants. 10K a month, oh, I want to
mm,
make 10K a month. But genuinely the feeling when you actually hit that, it's like, yeah, okay, you've done it. Now what? And
mm,
it's like the one thing that I would probably say to myself if I went back in time is do not become complacent. When I hit 10K a month, I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. But I was spending a lot more money, and a lot more time off work as well,
mm,
because I was spending and I was like, I've made it, I've done it. And then before I knew it, I was at square one. I spent it
mm,
all and I'm like, fuck me, what have I done with all this money? Because I was trying to live the high life because I hit my first 10K month and I became complacent, you could say. So
yeah,
genuinely, if I was to go back in time, I would just wake up in the morning, pretend that I've got $100 in my bank account and work like I've got $100 in my bank account.
mm,
And who knows, like within that 6 month, when I did do that first 10K month, if I didn't become complacent, you know, who knows? I probably could have 2x'd, the following month, but I decided to spend and splurge and not put my money where it should have gone. So I
mm.
mean, yeah, if I was to go back in time, that's exactly what I would do.
No, good shit, bro. It's pretty crazy to think though that, the month that you left your construction job was when you made your biggest month at the time. So it's crazy to, think that that could have been holding you back essentially, that construction job consuming so much of your time and energy. But I want to dive,
100%. It was. It like I'm
mm,
gonna cut you off there, but it was.
all good.
It was the thing that was holding me back, genuinely.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, shit, I can relate to that too with my warehouse job. It was burning a lot of my time and energy. But, let's go back to before you got to that stage. Did you have any sort of self-doubts or limiting beliefs, or were you sort of just tunnel vision on the process the entire journey?
Yeah, I mean, look, myself, I didn't have that much to lose. Realistically,
Hmm.
what did I have to lose? And that's the realization that I came to. I mean, a little bit of, I wouldn't even say procrastination. I feel like for me, it was just waiting for the right thing to come around. Like I was always, even when I
Hmm.
was 15, 16, I would always be looking at ways to make money online. I always wanted to
Hmm.
start a clothing business, a
Hmm.
clothing brand. But for me, it was just jump on the opportunity when it came. And it's exactly what I did. I wasn't someone that sits there and procrastinate, because I knew I had so much to gain, but nothing to lose. And what was really running through my head, it was like the fear of me working till the age of 70 was heavily overweighed by the fear of me taking a little risk into myself.
Hmm.
And at the end of the day, money always comes back, especially when you're
Hmm.
investing into yourself. It's like you're investing into your skill sets, your knowledge. So use it, and let it make you
Hmm.
money. But yeah, I mean, for me, it's just, yeah, the fear of me working till the age of 70 it was heavily overweighed by taking a little risk into myself and investing a little bit of money that could benefit my future.
Hmm.
And yeah, just like I said, I had so much to gain, but nothing to lose. And yeah, I mean that's why I did it. It's like let's see what happens, and
Hmm.
here we are today. I can definitely say that that risk definitely paid off, but it wouldn't have paid off if I didn't let it. If I
Hmm.
didn't put in the work, if I didn't put in the time, the hours, the dedication, the commitment. It doesn't just happen without you doing anything. I made it happen, and that's the one misconception that I think a lot of people have. It's like the question of, oh, how am I supposed to know that it's going to work for me? It's not the question. It's the results are there. If your mentor's done it and he's doing big money or whatever it might be, the results are there. It's not
Hmm.
whether it works, it's whether you work. And I feel like that's what kept me going as well. Like I knew I had the drive, I have the work
Hmm.
ethic, and I knew I was going to work. And yeah, I mean, here we are today.
No, fuck yeah, bro. I agree with you. Couldn't agree with you more, man. But one thing that stood out to me was you mentioned that you obviously don't want to be working until 70, and you knew that you have this drive and you have this hunger deep inside you. But, tell us about some sort of challenges. Were you facing any hurdles or obstacles in your day-to-day life before you actually got started, or what
Yeah.
was, going on there?
Yeah, well, I mean, I was living paycheck to paycheck, man. I had some bad traits, come from a gambling background, partying as well. Like I would always go
Hmm.
out and just spend money unnecessarily,
Yeah.
come to the end of the week and go out and feel like I'm accomplishing something. Wake up on Sunday and do the same thing again come Monday. Sort of a cycle, and it was like, what am I doing with my life? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like I'll party when I'm 30 now. I mean, I'll party when I'm 30 when I'm a fucking millionaire and I know I've done it. You know,
Mm.
it's like there's a saying, and it's like 40 years of struggle for 4 years of freedom, or 4 years of struggle for 40 years of freedom. I mean, that's where I'm at now. I mean, for the next 4 years, who knows what can happen? I mean, I might be a millionaire. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know where I could be in 4 years from now. Um, but yeah, just my day-to-day life wasn't ideal, and it definitely wasn't going to allow me to live the life that I wanted, especially on that construction wage. Making anywhere from 12 to $1,500 a week. Yeah, some might say it's pretty good money, but
Mm.
it's just not. Like, you're just capped at that, you can't do anything more to make that more money. Like, you're not going to work every day of
Mm.
your life for 14, 15 hours. Like, that's not living, man. I just wanted to
Mm.
live. So yeah, I mean, just living paycheck to paycheck and not having time for myself, my family, um, anything. Genuinely, it was just work, work,
Mm.
work, work. Like, that was it.
Mm.
And I didn't want to accept that, simply.
100%, bro. I think it's so easy as well to get complacent and get comfortable in that lifestyle, in that mediocre lifestyle, some would say, because you're in a secure job and everything's good, you're comfortable, you're getting along just fine. But I think the reason some people, don't get out of that is because they're just simply complacent, but also they haven't had a taste of what else is out there. They're unaware of other opportunities. In saying that, where do you think you'd be right now if you didn't take action upon an opportunity like this when you had the chance? Because I know a lot of people, you know, some of the older boys you're working with on site, they're like 40, 50, 60 years old, and they're saying like just complaining about everything. They're miserable, they hate their life and whatnot. And they say things like, "Oh, I wish I did X when I had the chance." Where would you be right now if you didn't take action while you have the
Yeah.
chance?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, to keep it short and simple, man, I'd still be working in construction. I'd still be swinging a hammer. Um, Myself, I left my apprenticeship with 9 months left, to get my qualification.
Mhm.
And the reason why I left is because, yeah, I can't remember if I did mention this, but I didn't want to leave myself with a backup plan. You can fall back on, your qualification. I didn't want to allow myself that. So that's hence why I quit the apprenticeship. But
Mhm.
where I'd be, man, I'd still be on site. I'd probably be on Smoko right now. I'd still be working in construction and just living on the same wage, hate my life, not enjoying my life, not living my life, and probably
Mm.
just doing dumb shit on the weekends, and just, yeah, just not being who I want to be, essentially, and
Mm.
just live mediocre, just average. It's not where I want to be. But if I didn't take action, it's where I would be.
Exactly. It's crazy to think that, bro. Like imagining where you could be if you didn't start.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's go into the viewer's shoes, right? Imagine the person who's watching this is either on the fence about starting or they're looking to start, but they just don't know how, or, just overall skeptical, whatever that may be. Did you deal with any of that before you started? Did you have any, limiting beliefs in your mind or anything holding you back from starting before you actually pulled the trigger?
No, I wouldn't say so, man. I mean, I've always been someone of taking action, especially coming from a background where I was making a little bit more money than my mates and sort of stuff.
Hmm.
I was always looking at trying to get that second step ahead as well. But for me, there wasn't really any skepticism. I knew that wealth is going to come from online, genuinely. It's
Mm.
there. We're in 2025. If you think you're going to get rich from working your, 9 to 5 or working for someone else, it's not going to happen. You're just going to be living,
Mm.
normality. And I don't want to get all Andrew Tate, but it's like that's how the systems work. Like, you're that far sucked into the system, and the system's made for you to only just get by or completely fail. Um, there's nothing above that. So I say the best piece of advice I can give to anyone is just start, because you don't know what your true potential actually is until you do start. Um, Realistically, it's like, what do you have to lose? And that's what a lot of people
Mm.
need to think about. You don't have much to lose, but you've got so much to gain, and you've got no idea about it. The best piece of advice that I can say is just start and don't be skeptical and don't call everything a fucking scam that you see online because it's not. We're in 2025, like I said. There is that many people making a killing online. And you're blinded by that because you're an outsider thinking that construction's the only way or a 9 to 5 is the only way. It's not. It's not. You're just insecure and you haven't come to the realization yet that you are going to be there for the next 40 years of your life if you do not do something about it now. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, for the people that want to be working for the rest of their life, you do you. I mean, at the end
Mhm.
of the day, I like my bins being taken out. But yeah, I just feel like the people that want more, start, do it.
Fuck yeah. I mean, that's the best thing I would say as well, because actually starting, going from not doing it to actually doing it is the biggest step and the hardest step that you will ever have to take. Because after that is just momentum and habit stacking from there. But in saying all of that, bro, obviously you've been a pretty clear success story within our business. So I want one more key piece of advice or one key takeaway that you would tell your past self if you were still in that position that you were in before you got started right now?
When you start, stick to it, and if you fail, keep going.
That's your
Um,
biggest key tip.
I'd I'd say my biggest key tip is don't be scared of failure because it's inevitable that
Mm-hmm.
it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to fail, and failure needs to happen in order for you to learn. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like when you fail, don't give up, don't quit. In my eyes, the only way that you will fail is if you quit, right? That's the only way that you're going to fail. For me, it's
Mm-hmm.
like if I
True.
fail, get back up, do it again, push through. You see months without results, keep going, push through, right? You're obviously hitting a roadblock and it's like you're hitting it. So find a way to either smash through it or go around it,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And that all comes to putting in the time, putting in the effort. So, stay consistent, stay driven, stay hungry, and don't let your drive vanish because you're not seeing the results that, your work thinks you deserve. You're not going to always get your way at the end of the day, but it's all about pushing through.
Mm-hmm.
And genuinely sticking to it. And yeah, like I said, failure is inevitable. So do not be scared of failure. I know there's a lot of people that are scared of failure, and that's hence why a lot of people actually don't even start because they're scared of failing.
Mm-hmm.
Be grateful that failure is even a thing. Genuinely,
Mm-hmm.
because if without failure, you're not going to improve yourself. You're not going to learn lessons. You
That's how
know,
you grow.
learn the failing times as lessons,
Mm-hmm.
learn from it. I've failed multiple times and learned so much from it. Without failure, I would not be where I am today. So, yeah, the best piece of advice that I can give is don't be scared of failure and just do it because you don't know what your true potential actually is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you do fail, big deal. Go back, do it again, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Take what worked and bring it into your next week. Take out
Mm-hmm.
what didn't work and don't bring it into your next week.
Mm-hmm.
Learn from your failures. It's all
Mm-hmm.
a lesson. Everything
That's
in
so
life's a
important.
lesson.
That's so important, bro, because a lot of people are actually scared of failure. They have a fear of failing, which is just kind of stupid because you have to fail in order to grow. You have to fail in order to learn, and everyone is going to fail. That's when you grow the most. You're not going to learn much if you're constantly winning. But
100%.
one thing that I wanted to bring up, bro, is a big topic that is misled, especially in this online industry, is investing into yourself. A lot of people have different views on it and makes some people skeptical. So what would you say your take is, and what has that actually done for you being investing into yourself? And what does that actually mean for you, bro?
Yeah. So obviously investing into yourself is investing into your knowledge, your skill set, your vehicle,
Hmm.
you could call it, and essentially what that vehicle is the vehicle that you're going to get in that's going to drive you to where you want to be.
Hmm.
And that's obviously going to be the skill set, going to be the knowledge, the information. Investing into yourself is the best investment that anyone could possibly make,
Hmm.
because you're investing into your knowledge, your education, and you're making yourself better. You're making yourself a better individual, right? And what it's done for me is it's got me to where I am today. out of
Mm.
construction doing 5 figures a month at 19 years old, which is, yeah, it's crazy to think, but that's what comes from investing into yourself and investing into your knowledge and actually putting it into action. It is the best investment anyone could make. Learn a skill set, you know, pick that. First thing, you got to invest into a skill set, pick that skill set, learn it, implement it, and watch the magic happen, genuinely. But one key takeaway is make sure you're learning that skill set from someone that has the experience, that's done it, that's been there, that's gone through the roadblocks, experienced the hiccups, so that obviously they can fast track your success without you going through those same, hard times, going over the roadblocks,
Mm.
experiencing the hiccups. So yeah, finding the right person to invest your money into is a massive thing as well. Like you're not going to spend $400 on a mentorship. Like at the same time, you're just being a cheapskate. Like you want to find someone that actually values their time, their information, because at the end of the day, that guy that's a mentor for $400 a year versus the guy that's a mentor for $12,000 a year, this guy's knowledge is going to be insane and he's going to be the difference maker in your life to say where you are going to go. You invest into this guy, he's not going to give a shit about you. You're not going to give a shit because it's $400. You're going to lose motivation within a day.
Mm.
But whether with this guy, a $12,000 investment, he's going to keep you accountable. He's going to teach you everything that he knows in order for you to get into the position that you want to be in,
Mm.
right? And he's going to keep you accountable for a long period of time. When you're investing a chunk of money, it's going to make you even hungrier to not only get that investment back, but once you do, you obviously know how to make that money. So you're going to want to do more and more and more.
Mm.
So, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a lot better than investing into stocks or crypto. Trading's a bit different because obviously you do still need to learn the markets and learn the trades and all that sort of stuff. I'm not familiar with trading, but yeah, compared to stocks and crypto and that, you're only waiting for someone else to make you rich. You're waiting for another business to make you money, essentially. Not even make you rich. I don't think you can get rich off crypto. You need a lot of money to put into crypto first.
Mm.
And stocks first for you to actually make an abundant amount of money. But at the same time, you're still hoping, you're just praying for luck that
Mm.
that makes you money. At the end of the day, it can go up or it can go down, and if it goes down, what have you learned? You've learned nothing. You're not learning anything. You're just
Mm.
hoping a number rises
Mm.
when realistically it can go straight back down as well. So
Yeah.
if you've got $10,000, the best piece of advice that I can give is invest into your knowledge, invest into something that actually has long-term potential.
I'd say the exact same thing. My take is very, very similar, being if you're investing into stocks or dumping your money into something like that, you're basically putting your faith and placing a bet on someone else to make you rich. Whereas if you're investing into yourself, you're putting a bet on yourself and
Yeah,
you're having faith in yourself to make it happen, you know? So I
facts.
was going to ask you, why would you recommend specifically investing into yourself rather than stocks, crypto, whatever else is out there? But you've pretty much answered that question for me already. Where do you see yourself going with this in the next 3 to 5 years? Do you have a plan in place for the near future, or are you just sort of playing it day by day at the moment?
Yeah, look, I do have a plan for I'd say the next year, probably not 2, 3, 4, 5 years in advance. As I do take things day by day as well. I wake up and I just stick to the plan essentially.
Yeah.
Um, but for me in the next year, where I'd like to be is I'd like to be making 50K a month. I mean that's sort of entry level, but at the same time, I don't want to be too much egotistical and say I want to make $1 million a month. I want to be realistic, and realistic for me in the next year is $50,000 a month. Maybe even pushing $100,000 a month. And I do want to start my own online business, but at the moment, I don't have the knowledge and the information to be responsible for an investment at the moment. Like, if I am asking for an investment and obviously putting myself in the position where I'm a coach and I'm coaching other people to make more money and learn more skill sets, I want to be that knowledgeable asset that everyone can come to. I don't just want to be a commodity. I want to be different. I want to be better. So for me, I mean, starting an online business is massive. Obviously, you're not just going from commission-based work. You're going from pure profits into your account.
Mm.
So that's definitely a goal that's on the agenda within, the next year, maybe even the next 6 months, who knows? But that's definitely a very big thing for me. But yeah, realistically, I do see myself in, yeah, making 50K a month even yeah, maybe 100K a month. I mean, I don't know. Obviously entry level, bro. So I'd say 50K a month within the next year. And obviously how I'm going to do that is by starting my own online business and really improving my skill sets in sales to the point where I can sell a toaster to a turtle. You know what I mean? That's the sort of level that I want to be at, and that does take time as well. But yeah, just building my skill sets up in every realm possible so that I can be responsible and be confident from taking an investment from someone else that puts their trust into me to obviously benefit their future as well.
Yeah. And giving them all the benefits, giving them everything that you've learned, right?
100%.
It's crazy how far you've come, bro. So to look back at where you were previously in construction, living week to week, as you said, in a job that you were pretty much miserable in, right? What would you tell your past self if you had the chance to, comparing your past self where you were before you started to where you're at right now? What would you tell your past self?
A hard question. Um, just go with your gut, you know.
Hmm.
Just go with your gut and do what your heart tells you to do. Like, I've always been someone that's, follows their dreams in a way. I've always wanted to at least. But I was never able to do it. But I always had a gut feeling it's like this isn't where you're supposed to be. Do something and do something now. So if I was to go back in time, what I would tell myself is do it sooner. Do it when you first thought about it. Just do it because a massive lesson that I've learned is, thinking about the thing isn't doing the thing. Telling someone you're going to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Writing the thing down isn't doing the thing. The only thing that is doing the thing is doing the thing.
Exactly.
Um, and that's it. So if I was to go back in time, I'd genuinely just tell myself, start sooner. That's it.
Yeah, I think that's everyone's biggest regret and wish, isn't it? Just getting started sooner.
Yeah.
Because as I said previously, hey, it's literally the hardest step of your journey. But Nick, bro, it's been a pleasure working with you over the last couple of months, man. I can't wait to see what's in stock for the future, bro. Some big things coming up ahead. For everyone who's watching, all the viewers in here, I will leave Nick's Instagram in the description down below, as well as mine. And if you're someone who's also keen to get the ball rolling and keen to make this happen for yourself as well, but you're just not sure where to start or how to approach this, just DM me the word journey on my personal Instagram and I'll get back to every single one of you. And hopefully you might be my next success story. So I'll see you in the next one and have a good day, everyone. Ciao.